Well, Jim, it was what a performance from your team today. Totally took the game to United, and in that opening patch especially, dominated completely.
I think the first 20-30 minutes we played very, very well. We started the game on the front foot. We scored 2 terrific goals, and we didn't really let United get a foothold in the game. After that, I felt that the game was pretty even, and at times United played some really good football. But we had that bit of a cushion, and I think at half time we just managed to calm things down. And I think in the second half, I think without as many goal scoring opportunities for either side, I think we maybe just edged it.
Really, at that point, Ayr seemed to be trying to get back into the game, but the fourth goal really just knocked the sails from them.
Yeah, well, that's what we had to do, is just keep that composure and see if we had got a chance. We weren't, going to go gung ho. We had a 3-1 lead at half time, so we just had to, make sure we were organised and disciplined and professional, and I think we've done that in the second half without being at our best. As I said, the scoreline was maybe a wee bit harsh on United, but I think overall I think we deserved the 3 points.
Was this a tactical idea to go at Ayr early on in the match?
Well, it wasn't much tactical, but obviously we knew that United had played the extra time during the week, and I know Ian changed it, I think with 5 changes, but a lot of the players perhaps maybe just needed 10 or 15 minutes to get those legs working again, and thankfully we managed to take advantage of that.
Again, fantastic goals. The first one as well. Did you think our keeper or Ayer's keeper was out of position, or was it just excellent idea?
Well, I think sometimes when you've got a player like Ross Forbes with a fantastic left foot, then you've got to compliment the quality of the player rather than United can look at whether they think it's an error or not. But from my point of view, an outstanding finish from an absolutely terrific player. Yes,
he seemed to really stroll through that match today. Could have scored even more.
Well, he had I think 2 or 3 shots on target. He scored 2. And just head, and he's just been such an instrumental player for us, and an important player for us, and just delighted for him. But everyone contributed. Gats had a couple of great saves, one-on-one, a fantastic save later on in the game, and a couple of great blocks with our defender. So overall, I'm just delighted with the team performance and really happy with the 3 points.
You've got to say about Ross Forbes as well, he's not just a striker, because he was working hard out for the ball out in the wings at times as well. He goes back and does his piece for the team.
He probably prefers to play central midfield, but we've obviously used him in a different role, and I just think because he's got so much to offer in the final third, so long may that continue.
So now you're up, you're not very many points behind now with a game in hand against Dundee United. Is that second place slot one for you?
Well, listen, we just want to try and stay in the top 4 if we can. It's going to be hard. There's so many clubs vying for that position, and we've got another away game against Queen of the South next week, and they'll fancy their chances of getting there as well. So every team is going to be competitive, but the most important thing for us is accumulating as many points as we can, and we'll see where we are come the latter stage of the season.
Well, Ian, a really difficult one to take. Not the usual competitive style from here today.
No, it wasn't. We let, I'll take full responsibility, we let all our supporters down. It was very, very poor. I've got to say we made an awful lot of good chances. But was that because we were down in the game and they slacked? I don't know. Second half, they really had one chance at the goal. I mean, the frustrating thing is how many times have we got to the byline this season? You've been at all the games and we don't. We've had 3 or 4 great chances in the second half. I mean, better chances than any of their goals. I mean, one of them's a wonder goal. One's boys hit it with his wrong foot into the net and it's bounced over Greg. There was a softness about us, I thought, and that's very, very unlike us.
Yes, midfield seemed a bit unsettled early on as well, and you made an early change as well, a half-time change anyway. It seemed to be, was that you trying to freshen up the midfield just after a long game in midweek?
Well, Dockett has got a sore hamstring, so that's why he didn't play, but and we missed him. Yeah, I mean, we tried to give a lot of the boys a chance that have been champing at the bit to get a chance, but nobody can say that they did themselves justice in terms of, look at me, I want to be in a team, and I don't think they did that. So just hugely disappointing for our supporters. It's not, it's not very often that we've been turned over like that at home, and it's not very often for a heavy defeat in this league. But whilst I've got to say, I don't think 4-1 was a fair reflection of the game. I really did. Maybe I'm wrong, but I do think we had an awful lot of good chances to score a goal. To get to 2, to get to 3, and maybe give our fans, because they were desperate to get behind us. You could tell that. But just my overriding feeling is just there was a softness about us, and the goals we gave away were just far too easy.
A lot better performance in the second half, and it might be hard to say like a man of the match day or anything. It's very hard on a day like this, but young players like McGuffey coming on there and Mick Wardrobe did pretty well once they came on.
Yeah, we did okay, but we've got to recognise we're in the Championship. We're going to places like Hibs and Tannadice, and these are boys that have got a good chance, you know. But we can't, you know, everybody's saying let's put McGuffey in, let's do this, let's put, you know. That's not the way things work. I'm afraid. I wish they did. Maybe McGuffey's a bit unlucky not to start the game, but you know, we were very aware that he's had an operation recently and he's been thrown back straight into it. I mean, there's definitely the boys got a real chance for the future, but and maybe he should have started the game, but he'll have many chances in the future, I hope.
Now we've got to ask, the deadlines are disappearing now for any signings. Is there anything that we can talk about?
I've tried to get 6 strikers. There was one playing for the opposition today, so you know we can only try, and everybody keeps shouting about signing players, but you know we can't just throw money about because we just can't do that. That's where we are. That's us. That's our club, and you know, much as I love it, that's the situation. Maybe we would have thrown an awful lot of money, we'd have got a striker, but you know, there's still 1 or 2 irons in the fire that we hope to. Well, we did a bit of business with one going out the way, Mike O'Donnell, Johnny Stinra, but I'm still hopeful of getting somebody in before the deadline.
So Mikey Donald's away to Stranraer. Are there other players leaving as well, or are you quite comfortable with what you've got?
No, I'm quite comfortable with what I've got, but they need to, you know, there was a period earlier on in the season for 5, 10, 12 games that they looked comfortable at this level, but there's a few of them now who've got to have a look at themselves, and me, I've got to have a look at myself, although I think I've proved I can manage at this level, but you know, they've got to kick on. You know, but for example, Brian Gilmer not in the team. I mean, he was a key man. He's got to get back to how he was, and there's got a bit of cohesiveness about the team. But what it is right now is we're in a fight. I mean, make no bones about it. And you know, I'm not sure we can play Harkins, Forrest, McGuff. We need boys that can. I mean, not all of them. We need boys that are going to fight and going to battle and going to, you know, because you know that was a big 3 points for us, because that would have really got it tight between 5 teams, well above St Mirren. So, you know, we need boys that are going to roll out their sleeves and go and get wired down, because there's still so much to play for. You know, we could still have a fantastic season if things pan out like they might, but we've got to start winning. It's that draws are no use. Even if we'd have drawn the day, I would have been happy. You know, because we've got to start winning games.
You're going away up to Hibs next week, and most people will see that as a really difficult match. I think anyone can say that no one's looking to really get points out of that. But we've done it before, but we are in a bad position at the moment.
Yeah, we are. I mean, absolutely. But I mean, we've went there and won before. It's going to be very, very hard. But there's a number of fixtures coming up. You know, the next 5, 6, 7 games that, you know, we've got to start putting points on the board. We've got to go and get 2 or 3 wins, including the Scottish Cup tie, but more importantly in league games. There's a couple of big ones coming up against St Mirren and Dumbarton. We've got to go and try and win the games.
Craig Moore back in there. He's starting to show himself a lot better just now. He seems a lot fitter than we expected him to be.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he got about really well there. He had a couple of great chances, you know, that usually would have put them in the net, but that'll come for him. No worries about him.